Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. My name is Carla Fitz. I am a certified life coach, wife, and mom of two beautiful little girls. My hope for this podcast is to offer support and empower other Catholic women to live their most authentic life, to share life coaching tools from a Catholic perspective in order to help you live a more fulfilling life filled with peace, joy, and abundance. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome to this episode. I am super excited, a bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. Let's take this bracelet because I'm starting this experiment. I'm going to call it an experiment because I just think it's one of those things that in order for us to grow and to make some changes and to reach more people, we have to be willing to experiment. This is something that I have been trying, and not just trying, but just living in my day-to-day life when it comes to anything in my life. When it comes to my motherhood, when it comes in my marriage, when it comes to my friendships, when it comes to my business, everything is being willing to try, being willing to mess up and not get it right. It's being willing to experiment. One of the reasons why I fell in love with experimenting and taking life in a much more light way and just taking it as a playful thing where you get to experiment, where you get to try new things, where you get to be really bad at something and then get really good at it. It all started with my weight loss journey. So for those of you who do not know, I came upon life coaching or across life coaching because I was 100 pounds overweight. I had my two little girls. I got married and then I got pregnant 6 months after getting married. And then I gained a lot of weight in that pregnancy. And then I was never able to lose much of that weight from the first pregnancy. And then I ended up getting pregnant again with my second one. And when I got my two beautiful girls, I had 100 pounds to lose. And I had tried just about anything out there that I could try in order for me to lose the weight, in order for me to feel healthy again. And it was hard because I believed it to be hard. But no matter what, I kept trying. It was one of those things that it was non-negotiable. My two options was to be just uncomfortable by trying something new and just uncomfortable, not eating certain things, or I was going to stay where I was at, feeling also uncomfortable with the extra weight. And so my heart was committed. If I'm going to be uncomfortable either way, I may as well change. I may as well try something new in order for me to grow, in order for me to become the next version of myself, in order for me to be the mom that I want to be for my children, right? So that's how my journey started. And I fell in love with new things. I've always been one to be in love with new things. I'm not going to lie. I've never been one when I was 16, I left my country, Venezuela, to come to the US because I wanted something different. I wanted a new language. I wanted to learn a new culture. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to travel. I wanted to see new things, right? And it wasn't that I was unhappy there. It was that I just desired change. And for me, desiring change and desiring to learn new things and desiring to be bad at something to then get really good at it, it's worth it because that is how we grow. That is like the foundation of growth. And I fully believe that God did not create us to live in a stagnant, you know what I mean, life where we just do not move forward, where we do not grow, where we are just safe all of the time. I think it's also very normal for us to desire a life, quote unquote desire, a life where it's just comfortable, where we don't feel discomfort very often. But in doing that, in staying in that life of comfortability, we become stunted. We do not grow. We do not change. And therefore, we don't experience new things. And that's how we end up living our life in a going through the motion way. And I never wanted that for my life. And I don't even know how I got into all of this rant, but the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I want to do something new with my business. I want to do something new with this content that I put in the amazing community in this podcast that I love so dearly. And because I wanted to do something new, I started thinking, okay, how can I put this content in different platforms? And what I decided to do was to start a new YouTube channel. So if you guys would rather watch this if you'd rather watch this podcast in a video form, then you are more than welcome to go watch those videos as well. And my hope is to reach as many women as possible because I think this work is life-changing. I believe that this content that I'm creating is something that needs to be heard, especially in a Catholic perspective, right? Because for what I knew prior to going into life coaching myself, there was a lot of talk of self-help is not healthy, it's not good, because you are trying to take the place of God and fix it yourself. What I would hear is that self-help was a way to solve your problems on your own and not need God anymore. And when I started going into life coaching for weight loss, I started recognizing how the mind work with life coaching helped me to make peace with my own doubt. The doubt that has not been placed in my heart and in my mind by God. It is either the devil inside of my head or my own humanity having doubt, having limitations. And those limitations are not meant to be there. We are meant to be in union with God. And what I found was that in life coaching, when I started working in my mindset, when I started working on what I believe to be true, things started shifting so much that I stopped focusing so much on myself and started desiring to focus on something bigger than me. I started focusing on Him. And what I found is that life coaching has actually helped me grow in my faith. It has helped me to empty the bucket of desire. I call it the bucket of desire because for each one of us, we only have so much desire. And when we are filling it in with worry and hurry, with outside pleasures, with food, with sugar, with other addictions, we do not leave space for us to be able to welcome God into our life. In life coaching, I see it as a bridge, right? We have the human, us, one of us, and then we have God, right? And God is always trying to reach to us. God is always trying to help us carry our crosses. And in my head, the way I see life coaching in between us is a bridge, is a unity, is a union that we create with God when we are able to see past those beliefs that are not helpful. Life coaching is an opportunity to get to know yourself in the most true way possible, where you take out the ideas that society has put in our heads, where you move from viewing yourself as incapable and you move into seeing yourself as a worthy daughter of God. Life coaching is freeing. I see it as an aid. I see it as you have a cross to carry. God is with you and He gives you your people, your friends, your life coach to help you learn to carry that cross with more ease, with more joy, with more authenticity and serenity and hope. Because for me, prior to living my life into life coaching, I thought I was alone. And I had my prayer life and my faith in God. But I did not know how to get past my own self-doubt. I did not know how to get past my own beliefs about myself. And I see it over and over again with my clients as well. They go from a place in which they think they have no choice but to struggle through life. They have no choice but to see their circumstances as their fact that can never change, as a weakness, as a struggle, as it's hard, rather than seeing them as opportunities for growth. That is why I started talking about change in this podcast, because when we choose to grow, things will have to change. We cannot grow in our comfort zones. And when you get out of that comfort zone, It becomes uncomfortable. It becomes exposing almost. All of a sudden, you are not as used to that new thing. All of a sudden, you have to become the person who creates new results, right? And in becoming that person, you're changing little by little by little. I wanted to create this episode because I've seen a lot of bad talk on life coaching. I heard this reporter. I love him. I think he's brilliant. I think he has a lot of good opinions, really strong opinions. And most of the time, I admire him until I heard him say that life coaches are people with issues helping other people with issues. It's funny because I found it really funny because I thought, of course, each one of us is human. There's only one amazingly perfect person, and that is God. We will never achieve perfection. But it would be to say that we cannot get help or help one another just because we don't have our life fully put together. That's never going to happen. And the way I've seen it, especially because I have my coach and I will always have a coach, is that we work with someone that has gone through similar things than we have. If my first coach had never struggled with food before, I would have nothing to connect with her with. I need that common ground where I know that that person understands my pain. Of course, we are humans who have issues, helping other humans who also have issues. But it does not take away the power of life coaching. I also have heard people say that we cannot have life coaching in our faith, and that is so unbelievably wrong. I have a very strong opinion when it comes to that, because God created everything in this world. And He created us to live an authentic, full, fulfilling, abundant life. And if we are not able to live our life that way, then we are living a life in which we are miserable. We are complaining all the time. We are worrying all the time. We are always in a hurry. We're not enjoying anything in our life. And that is not the way to live. For me, as a mom, it changed my life because I went from wanting all of the things in this world to wanting the things that really, truly mattered in my heart. I went from working 40 hours a week, wanting more money so that I could travel more often, to staying at home with my children, homeschooling them, being present in their life, still traveling, because that's something that is so important in my life and in my heart, and it's something that God called me to do as well. But we get to do it in a way that empowers us. We get to live our life in a way that empowers us. And as moms, I think it's so important for us to get really good at changing, at new things, to get really good with discomfort, because we are such an amazing example for our children. I have 2 little girls that I desire so deeply to give them an amazing example of growth and desire to serve other people and God in everything that we do. And so I want to be an inspiration. I want to be someone that you can go to and talk to and have support with. Because I truly believe that us as moms have such an amazing opportunity to create change in the world. I fully believe that those desires in our hearts are meant to be fulfilled. They are meant to be pursued. And whatever opportunity you have for a change, take it. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yes. But you have to weigh it. Because regardless, either way, you are going to have a 50-50 life. Half the time you're going to love it, and half the time not so much. But if God is providing you with an opportunity to make a change in your life, question yourself and ask yourself the following question. Which of these 2 opportunities will create the most growth in my life? Which of these 2 opportunities will give me the chance to develop as a human being, as a mom, as a wife? Which of these 2 will cause me to evolve. And it is going to be uncomfortable. It is going to be new. It is going to be tricky, but it's going to be 100% worth it. Uncomfortable, yes. But as I've lived it, it's uncomfortable either way. Change is just an opportunity to grow. You become a new person. You will have new challenges. But if you never change, you will always question what would have happened if you allowed yourself to change. So which one is it going to be? Do we stay in what seems safe? Or do we allow ourselves to grow and create safety in something new? I know that for me, this is exactly what's happening. I'm trying new things, and I'm homeschooling. I'm having a baby in a few months, and everything is changing. And is it scary? Yes, 100%. It is 100% scary. But I'm also so excited to see what God is going to do with my life, with my children's life, with my clients' life, with this change. It is uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you that it's all rainbows and roses. But man, if I would have never chosen to change 3 years ago and take a chance on this life coaching thing, my life would look completely different. And now looking back, I can't imagine it any other way. So my friend, take a chance, take an opportunity to accept change, to embrace change, to embrace the discomfort that comes with change, and also to embrace the excitement that comes with it. Because yes, it might be uncomfortable, but it's going to be so fun. And it's going to be so exciting to see what God will do with our lives when we are willing and open to new things. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what you'll do. Anyhow, until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Enjoy the beginning of spring. At least it's the beginning of spring here. My window's starting to look green, and I am super excited for that. And I hope you have a fantastic week. It's almost a weekend too. So enjoy your time, enjoy your families, enjoy these new opportunities that are being presented to you. Sending you so much love. And until next time, God bless you.
If you are ready to dive deeper into life coaching from a Catholic perspective, then make sure you schedule a free consultation. The link will be in the description. This is an opportunity for you to work with someone who will empower you and support you in all of your endeavors. This is a journey, and being together and working with someone who believes in you is life-changing. So if you're interested in growing and creating faith-driven success, make sure to reserve a time to chat with me. Until next time, God bless.